Hello, Magic Muse, witches, heathens. Welcome back to As Above, So Below. So today we're going to be chatting about the differences between paganism, witchcraft, and Wicca. So I know that there's a lot of information on all of this, so I'm going to give you some straightforward info and then you can dissect it later and go down your rabbit holes because this is kind of an extensive topic. So paganism, witchcraft, and Wicca. So Wicca is a religion that was founded in the 19th century by Gerald Gardner. And this is a religious-based practice that has a lot of initiation and more structure to it. And it focuses on the god and the goddess, and it celebrates the 8 Sabbats of the year. So a lot of the times when people introduce themselves, they will say, I am Wicca, or I am a pagan witch, or I am a pagan. It's important to know the differences because not all witches are Wiccan, but all Wiccans are pagan witches, but not all pagans are Wiccan. So, and with paganism is an umbrella term that is really adopting a lot of nature-based beliefs. So this is including like heathenism, druids, and a lot of Celtic polytheism. And I know I'm using big words, but this is important to know the difference, especially when you're diving into the craft. And it's more of a nature belief. It's not really, now sometimes pagans can have some religious beliefs, but with witchcraft, which is what I follow, witchcraft isn't inherently religious. It's more spiritual. And I think that that's what I like about it because I can adopt different beliefs from different paths. So when I introduce myself, I say that I am an eclectic witch or I am a pagan witch, because I don't necessarily follow the Wiccan read or the Wiccan rule or structure. And it's all for your specific path. And I always tell people, I'm like, do your own research because there is so much out there. But witchcraft, again, is a craft. It's not a religious following. Now, that's not to say that I don't follow the path of Hecate or Freya, or, and I think that that's where that paganism umbrella comes in for witchcraft, because you can follow different deities or different practices, like Druidism or heathenism. But again, I don't really subscribe to one specific tradition or path. And to me, I feel like witchcraft is more ancient than Wicca. I feel like my practice is more ancient and it is very intuitive based. So if I feel called to, do a spell or do research on a specific god or goddess, I can move without feeling like I'm boxed in to a specific religion. That's just how I am. That's kind of how I've always been. Even when I was Mormon, like growing up Mormon, I always questioned, like, why is there so many different paths? And it always kind of sparked me, like, why is that one path supposed to be the one path, but people across the world, if they've never been introduced to a specific path, like, are they going to hell? Or those are always questions that I've always had. And I feel like witchcraft gives me the freedom for my soul to express what it is without feeling boxed in, and I feel like witchcraft, I can grow with it and it grows with me. And I love that it's so mutable, and I also don't subscribe to a religion that a man, you know, Wicca is kind of like the resurgence of witchcraft, and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, for me and my feminine practices, it's kind of hard for me to dive into something where a man has resurgenced everything. It's just that's just my jam. So, but yeah, follow your own path. And again, all of these terms are broad, but it's good to know when you are entering into magical spaces to know the difference between paganism and Wicca and witchcraft, because not everybody is Wiccan and not everybody is pagan. But when you are following Wicca, you are a witch and you are pagan, but a witch isn't necessarily Wiccan. So, and that's what a lot of people ask me when they first meet me. They're like, "Oh, are you Wiccan?" I'm like, "No, I'm a witch," and I describe the differences. So, but again, do your own research and see what vibes with you, and dive deeper on this topic because there's a lot of information. Because when you dive into paganism, you go down into druidism and heathenism, and it's a big rabbit hole of things. So that's why I call myself a witch, because I am open to many different paths, and if something doesn't resonate with me, I don't have to adopt it. And that's the way I roll. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Put down in the comments what you would like to know next, and I will see you on the next one. Blessed be. Bye.